Alright, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the reasons why these are the two guns that I carry the most often out of all my weapons. Okay? And to kind of put together a little bit of information based on my testing and my personal experience in the 9mm Parabellum versus the 7.62 by 25 Tokarev cartridge. So, my daily carry is this, my SAR B6P 9mm. I carry the Hornady American Gunner 9mm plus P plus 124 grain XTP jacketed hollow point. It's rated at 1160 feet per second, and that equates to 424 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Obviously at 15 yards and 100 yards that drops significantly. And one thing that I noticed is that I'm having to hold right around 6 inches above point of aim to put rounds on target at 100 yards with a 9mm, and it's much more difficult, whereas the 7.62 by 25 is a very flat shooting round. It shoots almost point of aim at 100 yards. And I shoot the green and black box Cellier and Berlot and the Winchester, all of which are rated at 1640 feet per second. The green box Cellier and Berlot, I was getting about 1570 chronoed out of my Norinco Tokarev with a muzzle brake. I don't know if the muzzle brake makes any difference, but the Winchester white box chronoed exactly what it was rated at 1600 and about 38 average, so almost exactly at 1640. Weirdly enough, the black box Cellier and Berlot, even though everybody says that it's the same as the green box, it's not. It chronoed 1720 feet per second. All of them are 85 grain full metal jacket, and that equates to 511 foot-pounds of energy for the Winchester. That one's about 478, and this one is 565 foot-pounds of energy, so much higher than the 9mm. However, they are all full metal jackets, so over-penetration is almost guaranteed. You're not going to dump that energy into your target, whereas the hollow point of the 9mm, if it'll focus here, but that 9mm hollow point expands very well. That's a 4D Smith & Wesson in the middle to give you an idea of the size of that bottlenecked cartridge on the 7.62 by 25. It is a very high velocity round with a whole lot of power and powder behind it. So the only reason why I choose to carry the 9mm more often is simply two things: ammo availability and capacity. It's 17 plus 1, 18 total rounds, and it has a spare clip, whereas the Tokarev is a Zastava M57 clip, so I have 9 rounds plus 1. So it's 10 total rounds in the gun. The report of the Tokarev is substantial. It is a very loud gun. It's about like a 357 SIG. That's about as loud as it is. It's louder than a 10mm auto. It's louder than a 9mm. To me, it's louder than a 45 ACP and 40 Smith & Wesson plus P+. So it's a very loud report, but it is very accurate. It'll defeat basically any barrier that somebody's hiding behind. And as you can see, there's a lot of factory options available for this gun. There's PPU, there's Hornady, there's a whole bunch of different ones available. I don't use military surplus ammo. I don't like corrosive ammo, but the factory ammo availability for the Tokarev is incredible. This was ones I got during the ammo shortage a couple years back too. So I mean, it's very available now, and you don't have to use, it's about $25 a box average of 50 rounds, so it's totally worth it to buy that over the military surplus unless you're planning on shooting incredible amounts of ammunition. I don't. The 9mm I shoot a whole lot more with factory ball ammo for practice. The Tokarev, it's just extremely accurate, but it is a Chinese Norinco version, so I don't want to wear it out too fast. I do plan on buying a Romanian or Russian TT-33 or Zastava M57 here pretty soon. as a backup to this one. Maybe a CZ52 if I can find one that's basically unfired. But yeah, so these are my two favorite carry calibers. I usually carry them both at the same time. I'm a big guy. My voice may not show it, but I'm about 6'4" and 220 pounds, so I can conceal two full-size pistols very easily. And I carry the 9mm as my main and the Tokarev as a backup, because I figure if I empty a clip of 17 rounds out of my 9mm, I'm in a really bad situation, and I might need something with a little bit more power and penetration, which is where the Tokarev comes in. So at this point, I would say that the Tokarev is one of the most powerful pistol rounds. If you could put a hollow point and maintain your velocities, it would be in the 500 plus foot-pound range for muzzle energy, which is above almost everything except for the really hot 10mm, and 357 SIG is right about 510 foot-pounds as well. So it's honestly the ballistics and accuracy of the 7.62x25 really make it around ahead of its time. And that bottlenecked cartridge, man, you know, it's a fire breather. It shoots a big fireball. It's loud, but it's accurate, and it'll put down most anything. I honestly, if I was in grizzly territory, I would never want to shoot one with a Tokarev, but I'd feel a lot more comfortable with the Tokarev in grizzly territory than most other factory ammunition guns. You know, I mean, obviously you want to have a big boy, 500 Smith & Wesson, 454 Casull, 460 Rigby, or 475 Linebaugh. All those are really good rounds for bear territory, but if I was forced to carry a factory ammunition gun, I would probably choose the Tokarev for its penetration of bone over most anything. So the capacity is not really there, but 8 rounds of Tokarev I'd be a lot more happy with than 8 rounds of 45 ACP. So it's a very good all-round bullet. It's a very good stout all-round gun. Simplicity is there, easy to clean, easy to find parts, and you can get a new Tokarev, basically an unfired Cosmoline filled Tokarev, for probably in the $250 to $300 range, so very cheap. My SAR B6P 9mm was only $270 with an extra clip, the case, and a box of ammo, so that was a really good deal as well. Both of them have never had a failure to feed, they've never had a failure to fire, they've never had a failure to eject. I've had absolutely no reliability issues whatsoever with both of these guns for about 1,000 plus rounds, so very happy with it.